This episode is sponsored by Auto Trader. You see a car in a movie that you just watched? Well, you can find it on Auto Trader. Shop millions of new and used cars on Auto Trader.
Welcome to Ear Biscuits, the podcast where two lifelong friends talk about life for a long time. I'm Link.
And I'm Rhett. And this week at the round table of dim lighting.
What?
You said I heard an extra M in there. Did you not do an extra M?
In my name?
I'm a Link.
I'm a
Link.
I'm a
And I'm a Rhett. I'm a Rhett.
I guess I
Maybe
wouldn't put it past me.
Jamie, did you hear something?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I'm a Link.
We don't let anything slide around here. This week at the round table of dim lighting, we're going to be listening to and answering a couple of your voicemails. And as a reminder, the summer episodes are going to be
a little bit shorter.
A little bit shorter. Okay, so don't be alarmed. This is not a permanent change. This is a temporary change.
Yes.
That will be back to regular scheduled length later.
But let's get into it. Let's get a voicemail.
Hey, Rhett and Link. My name is Gracelyn. I'm a longtime Mythical Beast. I have a question for Rhett. Link, I know that you have totally embraced the silver fox. Love it. 10 out of 10. Rhett, your hair has been the same color since I've been watching you. I've been watching you for like 8 years, I guess. Do you dye your hair? It's okay if you do. Like, it's okay. I really want to know because it's so beautiful that I want to know if you dye your hair. And does your wife do it for you? Okay, thanks. Love you guys.
Gracelyn, I love that accent.
That's great accent. Goes great with the name too.
Those long eyes like that, does your wife do it? Like, where that could be Tennessee.
Could be Bama.
Yeah. I really like that accent.
Mm-hmm.
Compliments on the way you talk. Don't ever change.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Makes us smile.
I do not dye my hair. I will say, well, and the evidence of that is what's happening on my beard. I think is most. If you got close to me, Gracelyn, you would see that I've got some gray hairs in the head as well.
I can't see. I'm close. I can't see that there's gray hairs in the
Look in the middle.
Where,
You'll find a couple.
I mean,
they're not absent. They're in there. Maybe. Well, my hair's got product in it right now, and so it's probably like rolled up in there. But once it starts like fraying out, like the grays will ding ding.
Okay, yeah. But it's in the beard. The
beard is happening here and here. And what I will say, because I don't like the pattern that it's creating at this juncture. It's like patchwork.
It's like back there under almost under the ear, like the bottom of the jaw, like the back corner of the jaw. That's where it started.
And here, and then it's kind of in the middle. And I have seen—
At least it's symmetrical.
I've seen a lot of guys, and people always assume that these guys— I would have thought that these guys were dyeing their beards. You'll see a guy that's got gray, and then whatever his original color in 2 streaks. Mm-hmm. No, that's just how some people's beards mature. But I have thought about just taking a little Just for Men and just—
because it's just right there.
Just getting rid of that patch.
Yeah.
And I would do it openly because I've already talked about it and now you can already see it.
Well, that's how I started dyeing my hair, years ago.
And then once
in my mid-30s.
And then at some point when it was like it had fully changed or it had gotten to like a predictable pattern, I would just be like, bam, and all of a sudden it would just be out there.
That's hard. I would not advise that.
But you did it, and you did it without—
It was painful. It was a painful transition.
Yeah,
but it got way out of control.
It gives people something to talk about, though. Now, first of all—
Well, we're talking about this?
No, I'm saying when you come out of the gray hair closet,
mm-hmm.
and boom, all of a sudden it's there. I'm really just talking about the beard. I don't know what's going to happen with my hair. It's getting gray, and I'm just assuming that over the course of the next 20 years, it'll probably transition. I don't know.
At your age, the fact that you only have that much gray, I think it's—
My dad has, well, no hair at this point, but his hair like between the age that I am now and 65 or so, it basically just went completely white.
Listen, I think I speak for both of us in saying that we're just grateful to have hair.
Oh, yeah,
You know, it's
for sure.
I mean, you have no control over it
yeah.
if you have it or not at our age. So that really works.
But do you think that doesn't stress actually? I mean, some people just get
wonder.
prematurely gray hair. Like you just have prematurely gray hair. But how come it's the case that like Obama goes into the White House, his hair is completely black. 8 years later, I know he was at the age when it turns, but like, doesn't stress accelerate the graying of hair? Isn't that a known factor?
Well, I can believe it.
I'm using one person.
don't
I
know.
know that's very anecdotal, but I'm just saying that like everybody's like, yeah, his hair turned gray. He's going through a hard time.
I believe it. I believe it.
So I don't dye my hair, but how would you feel about me just filling in the gaps a
I
little
just don't
bit?
think
I know
it's
once you
worth it.
start, you can't stop. That's why I
it's a
haven't
slippery
started.
slope. That's what I think about it. And there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. It's a nice pattern.
I just hope that my beard doesn't get too thin.
But it is definitely getting whiter in the middle.
Because I
like,
need this beard.
look at me. I really haven't. I mean,
it's very white in the
it's
middle.
really getting white in the middle. Because I usually see you in profile.
Mhm.
I look over at you and then I don't look dead on into your face. Like, I don't make a habit.
I will
of it.
say having a gray, and it doesn't gray, it's just white because I guess the color of my hair, it just goes white versus gray. I don't know.
You just got to, my advice is just embrace what you got and figure out a way to do what you need to do with it.
I agree with that.
I rarely think about the fact, when I made the transition to not dyeing my hair, I thought about it a lot. And I was very caught up in what are people going to think? And is our audience going to think I'm old? And is that going to have a negative effect on, my ability to keep doing this? I thought of all these things. But, now I have a realization that, like, if you do the best you can with what you got, and you're like, you try to make we always encourage people to make a bold hair stance. They got to make a choice. I think that's the main thing. Like when people are going, their hairline's receding and their hair's getting thin, and at a certain point, it's like there's nothing wrong with just going for the shave.
It's advisable often.
And then it's like, well, what can you do with other things? Can you grow a stash? Can you grow some chops or a whole beard?
Yeah, making
something
bold
else.
choices. I completely agree with that.
Gotta
I
make
will
a
say,
bold choice.
a gray beard is much more aging than gray hair, I think. Especially depending on how you style your hair.
That's why I don't grow a beard out anymore, because the few times when I've flirted with it, it drastically changes the perception of my age, I believe. So I don't really do that. And I miss it. I wish I could grow a beard. Maybe one day
But
I'll
do
do
you
it.
think
I need to be what age? I need to be, in order to have a gray beard, it just makes you think that you're in your 60s.
I don't know. I don't know how many people would. Well,
And it doesn't fit my vibe.
nobody thinks either of us are as old as we actually are. Even with that's the thing, your gray hair on top, no one interprets it as old. They interpret it as prematurely gray. When you look at Anderson Cooper, he has white hair. He's had white hair forever. You don't think he's old. You think, oh, he's prematurely gray. There's a vibe and there's a look to his face that's a lot more important than the color of his hair. But you're right that a beard, Kenny Rogers always looked old.
He always looked old.
Because he had that beard.
That's right.
So what I'm saying is I mean, if there's any one of us that is in,
Well, maybe you need to
that
dye.
is in,
Now's the time to start, because
this threatening
the
to make
least
us
amount of
seem
people
older.
will notice if you do it now.
I've thought about it simply because when you look to the side, it's kind of like, it doesn't register as something other than just like, kind of takes away from the shape of it. And I'm really, really needing the shape, as you might know.
But if you ever decide to go the other way and take out the hair dye and it's fully gray, that is a wild transition. You know, I had an uncle who had like reddish brown beard, full. He was young and vibrant. And then he was like, you know what? I'm going to embrace the gray. He actually changed jobs. He moved from being a principal to being a superintendent of the county.
Yeah, there's a lot of jobs where it comes in handy.
And when he did, I think that coincided with the just revealing the gray of his beard, and it was completely gray.
I think you're talking me into coloring it.
It changed everything.
Because
But he became this wise person of even more authority.
by coloring my beard, what I'm doing is I'm creating a moment in the future in which there's actual noticeable change. Whereas if I just let it go, I just get older and you just watch it happen. But if I start dyeing it, and I won't have to do much. It's just a little bit. Just a little bit.
It's gonna be a lot. And it's just,
I think I'm gonna do it.
I don't think
You just talked me into it.
It's a hassle.
You talked me into it because you talked about the moment that he had. And you got your moment where you suddenly had gray hair.
I hated the moment, Rhett.
Yeah, but that's because, you were the first you were a pioneer. Now I know that you didn't have anything to worry about. You got way more compliments for doing it than for not doing it.
Here's the thing.
I'm just saying that you've given me zero reasons to not make a moment.
The voicemail said, it's totally fine if you do it, but
yeah, Grayson
honestly,
gave me permission to do it.
Nobody loves finding out that you're dyeing your beard. Nobody's like, oh, that's great. That's what I was hoping for. No, people are just, when you dye your hair, you're hiding something. Now, if you do it
I'm just waiting for the moment.
If you color your hair for an effect, then that's one thing. But if you're dyeing your grays, you're hiding something. And that had an impact on me psychologically. Ultimately, it looked bad and nobody told me. And I felt like I was hiding something. And I had to go buy that shit and I had to put it on my hair and I had to involve people and it'd
be way easier to do this than it was to do your hair.
It's gonna get harder and harder. And you know what's gonna happen, Rhett? Your skin is gonna get dyed underneath it. And
no, I'm going with it. It's a light color.
Trust me, dude.
It's a light color. Well, I'll try it. Maybe I'll try it.
It's a world of pain.
Maybe I'll try it for the summer.
You're entering into. Don't do it. Don't you do it.
I don't know, man. You didn't give me the, I think that I'm already hiding something. I'm hiding my chin for a living.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna talk me into, hiding something is not a compelling reason. I hide half of my face constantly because I do not like the way my face looks without a beard.
Well, I think it will only benefit me for you to do it.
By your principle, I should shave my face. I don't think you want that.
But it's a natural solution. But if you taped your beard on every morning, which I know you did for a while.
For a very short time.
Then
I do not want to do that again. I do not want to do that again.
I've done all I can do.
Ear Biscuits is supported by Chime.
You know, summertime beckons all types of activities, some of which you gotta save up for. I'm talking about vacations, excursions, dips in wild waters.
A Chime checking account helps you reach your financial goals while still enjoying your summer. Take back your finances with features like fee-free overdraft up to $200 with SpotMe or getting paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit.
With Chime, there are no monthly fees or maintenance fees, and you get access to over 60,000 fee-free ATMs.
To date, Chime has spotted members over 20 billion. Now friends can give a boost to temporarily increase their SpotMe limit. And when you give a boost, your friend can boost you back to temporarily raise your limit.
Here's how it works. Set up direct deposit into your Chime account. After a qualifying direct deposit of $200 or more, Chime will notify you to enroll in SpotMe. With an activated debit card, Chime will spot you up to your limit when you exceed your balance.
Your next direct deposit is applied to your negative balance. Chime never charges fees or interest for using SpotMe.
Live it up this summer and make progress toward your financial goals with Chime. Open your account in minutes at chime.com/ear.
That's chime.com/ear. Chime feels like progress.
Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A., members FDIC. SpotMe eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply.
Boosts are available to eligible Chime members enrolled in SpotMe and are subject to monthly limits. Terms and conditions apply. Go to chime.com/disclosures for more.
Give me another voicemail.
Hey, Rhett Link, this is Spencer from Colorado. Big fan of you guys, been listening for a really long time. So you guys have been in the public eye as you've been getting older, and I think for many of us aging outside of the public eye is its own challenge. So what's it been like for you guys getting older, and what kind of phases have you found yourselves into as far as changes, and what sort of things have you noticed don't change? What things have you noticed stay consistent? Anyways, have a good one. Bye.
Was that Tyler was the name?
Nobody
Are we gonna do that thing again?
I'm gonna do that thing again. I'm gonna do it though. Hold on.
Hey, Rhett Link, this is Spencer.
There's something about names.
I don't know.
hear it and it goes out the other ear.
Yeah, well, I was wrong. Spencer, let me just start by saying
You should change your name to
I don't-
Tyler.
I don't-
Dye your beard.
I don't think you have an accent. I've always thought that people from Colorado just talked like accentless American accent,
Yeah,
like newscaster.
yeah.
And so I have nothing to compliment in terms of your accent in the way that
Oh, yeah.
I was enthralled with the way that Graceland talked.
But you didn't have to bring it up at all.
Right. It
Mhm.
would have helped if I'd have remembered his name was Spencer.
We're still on the same topic of aging in other ways besides the hair, because we've been there. I don't know.
What comes to mind for me is not physical. You don't want to hear us talk about physically aging, right?
Okay.
You know how that goes.
We've already done that.
I think one of the things that one of the things that hasn't changed that I'm very happy about is, okay, yes, I think there's an aspect of my personality and your personality, or just us as people, that has matured appropriately with age. I'm a father, I'm a long-time married man, I'm a responsible business owner. I do things in a practical, predictable, responsible way that I think is commensurate with my age, right? I'm not an unwieldy, unpredictable person when it comes to the things that need to be stable. But our jobs have allowed us to maintain an immaturity in other areas. We're as silly as we've ever been.
Yeah. And that's saying a lot.
And that's something that hasn't changed.
That's a good thing, right? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a great thing. Jesse was telling me about this. I think I may have talked about this we talk on the internet all the time, so I forget what I've said, and I think I talked to you about this, that there was this idea that silliness and seriousness, or silliness and sincerity are, I think it may have been seriousness, are like two opposite ends of a spectrum. But there's another way of thinking about this, and I'll have to talk to Jessie and figure out where she got this information, but it kind of intrigued me, is that they're actually right next to each other in a lot of people's worlds, and I think Ear Biscuits is actually the perfect example of this, because in a given answer to a question or a given conversation, we feel the freedom to be serious. I'm being serious right now.
Mm-hmm. But what about this?
Yeah, but Link made a fart noise, and it didn't take me out of the moment.
What about this one?
Yeah. Wow, that's a wet one. The seriousness and the silliness live side by side, and it actually reminds me of another thing that Jessie pointed out to me about the tour. Now, she tweeted this. Jessie's still active on Twitter. Bless her heart. It's good for her. I'm glad she is. She loves it. I don't. she was sitting behind, this was one of the ways that she wished me a happy Father's Day. She was sitting behind a father and a son at the Raleigh show.
Mm-hmm.
And the way she described it was this father and son, like, they would like look at each other, they would whisper things to each other, like during the show, because they're connecting over this stuff that they've connected over.
Yeah.
And they're just being silly. They're enjoying the silliness that is emanating from the stage. There was a lot of silliness emanating from the stage. But there's a serious thing happening there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
It's
relationally.
Relationally, the father and the son experiencing this silliness is a serious relational thing.
Yeah. We wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have the friendship we have if it wasn't for the silliness.
Right. So I'm saying that those are the things that have sort of run parallel. The silliness hasn't gone away. It's probably increased.
Yeah.
And the seriousness has increased as is necessary given the increase in responsibility that we have had added to our lives over the past 20 years.
Totally on board with that. I think in another way, being in this technologically rapidly evolving space, it keeps you on your toes. You know, every week there's just something that keeps you, we're engaged and it keeps you guessing. That keeps you younger, I feel like. So I feel like, yes, we're getting older. You know, when I meet fans, they're like, oh, you were my childhood. And I just look in their eyes to see, it's like, and now look at your wrinkles, kind of a thing. You look so different.
Like, when was the last time you watched?
It's the, you know, it's fine.
It's the most common thing said.
You know, I think we, in the 30s and making it, there's these different phases of life that's like giving yourself the physical attention to take care of your body.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that we're committed to that because we put ourselves out there, you know. It's like, I don't want to let myself go. That's what was happening earlier. Now I'm at a point in my age, like starting to stare down 50 in 4 years, that I'm thinking about doing things to just keep a quality of life. You know, if I lift a weight now, that's the reason. Like,
mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna look buff. I'm not gonna look amazing, but I want to be resilient.
Wiry.
I guess a little wiry. I'll take wiry any day of the week because I'm not going to take. I never got buff, and it'll never happen. But
you probably could if you wanted to.
No, I don't want to go that far.
You have to eat a lot more than you eat.
Well, I wanted to get to there was a voicemail where somebody was coming at me.
Hey, Link. This is Marshall. I've been sucking on an almond for literally about 32 minutes now. And this is not an enjoyable experience. I thought it might be. I was giving you the benefit of the doubt, but it took a while and you still have to scrape it with your teeth. And I don't understand. I don't understand the joy. The skin tastes like crap, and then you get this smooth nut, but it's just 30 minutes for one nut. I don't know, man. I do love listening to you guys, and I love watching you guys every day. So, hope you have a good day. Bye.
He's not going to stop. He's not going to stop being a fan because of this. But
yep. Well, that's good because I mean, you know, there's plenty of things that I do in all earnesty that drive people away. I'm not a fan anymore. So I'm glad that the skinned almond didn't do it to Marshall. Marshall, I don't understand you, buddy. I mean, you said 30 minutes for a nut.
Is that how long it takes you?
I mean, well, it could, yes. And how is that a bad thing? How is that a bad thing?
Well, that sounds like hell to me. Sucking on a nut for 30 minutes? We're not going to have been eating
a lot of them?
100 of them?
It's
yeah, horrible.
It's like a Zen practice. And I
Hold
don't.
on, you mean Zen Z-Y-N or Z-E-N? Because it is a lot like a Z-Y-N. Why don't you
That's
just,
not what I
Marshall,
meant.
just start doing Zens?
No.
Because
you
that's
said-
something you can put in your mouth for 30 minutes and you'll actually gain something from it. Don't start doing Zens, okay? Don't become that person.
Taking 30 minutes to skin a nut's a good thing. It's nice to slow down and just savor life. And you said that the skin doesn't taste good? It's the texture. It doesn't taste at all. It's texture. You got this thing that you can nibble on and yeah, you can scrape it's an art form. You slow down and enjoy it.
If Marshall didn't enjoy it though, then he won't enjoy it.
Well, it seems
If you enjoy it, that's great.
I don't know what he was. It didn't seem like he was trying to. He seems like he was trying to enjoy eating a nut. But this is enjoying.
I think
the
Marshall
process
gave it
of
the college try. He
eating
did it
the
for
nut.
30 minutes.
I could tell that the nut was still in his mouth.
That's
when he was
way
leaving
longer
the
than
voicemail.
that's way longer than I would commit
Yeah,
to this.
Marshall, thanks for giving it a shot. I don't know what to tell you, man. It's not for everybody. Yeah, everybody can't skin an almond and enjoy it. But finding something that slows you down where you can savor it, stop and smell the skinned almond, my friend. Come on.
I just feel like in the world of savoring, which is something that I am open to, nut sucking is not in the top 10 things that I would move to.
Say nut skinning.
Okay. But nut sucking is required for nut skinning.
Well, there's a
wrong?
soaking and there's a peeling.
But
And there's some sucking, but I wouldn't say it's predominantly sucking of a nut.
I think
This is making me uncomfortable.
chocolate milk. Let's go to chocolate milk, okay?
Mm-hmm. I recommend drinking it with a spoon.
See, that's can we not go that far? Like sipping it, yes. Using a straw slowly, sure. Silly straw, lots of turns and twists, takes a while to get through, yes. Spooning it into your mouth.
I don't actually do that
if it
anymore, but yes,
brings
I
you-
did that from a young age all the way through college.
If it brings you pleasure, fine. But you cannot be upset with the fact that the vast majority of well-adjusted people are going to be annoyed by watching you eat chocolate milk. And it doesn't mean anything's wrong with the person that's doing it or the person who is getting upset by it.
Well, I don't sell tickets to it.
Sometimes you made it unavoidable. Sometimes you'd be in your room while we were in college and you could hear this spoon going in, making, like somehow you find a way to make noise with everything. Like the spoon would hit the side of the glass and then you hear.
I've stopped this practice.
I know, but you have to understand.
But I do it with my
there's
smoothie every
nothing
morning.
wrong with the practice and there's nothing wrong with being annoyed by the practice. That's the team I'm on, is there's nothing wrong with either one of them. Now, back to what I'm trying to say, which is I would like to be able to savor chocolate milk. I will tell you what I do with chocolate milk when I choose to enjoy it, which is not often, is I pour a glass, I look at it, and I'm like, that is going to be so good. And then within seconds, without even knowing it, it's gone.
Yeah, and you do make a noise when you do it.
But it's a short-lived noise.
But the noise...
Yep, it sounds like a cartoon. It sounds like a cartoon drinker. And then I do a hiccup a couple of times. But that moment...
You tried to tell me on GMN that there's taste buds in your throat.
I think there are. That moment...
I do believe there are.
That moment is incredible, though. It's short-lived.
You like the feeling of something instantaneously filling up your gullet.
Whoop. But I have
Like a pelican.
I have tried. I think there's a happy medium between eating it with a spoon and drinking it all in one gulp. But sipping, I'm not getting enough with a sip. There's not enough there. I want to feel like a egg-sized amount of milk. Like a mouthful of milk going down. Like I'm standing up for the gulpers here because the sippers think that they've got it on lock and they think that, oh, their lives are so much better.
I don't know how you taste.
But it's not just about, you know how you're a texture guy?
Yeah.
I'm a texture guy in a way. I want a mouthful. I want milk hitting everything inside my mouth.
And then traveling down your throat in a packet?
I like the idea of there's milk, like when you're sipping, there's just milk hitting the front of your throat and just going down like this. Like if you were to see the inside of a throat of a sipper, it would be like a waterfall.
Yeah, a little trickle.
The inside of my throat would be like one of those giant pipes at the Hoover Dam.
No, it's like one of those.
When they release the water at the Hoover Dam and it comes out of those pipes to the side and everything that's in there from like years of buildup just like comes out. Like that's what my throat looks like when I'm drinking milk.
You're like when you go up to the drive-thru at the bank and you're not at the window, you're 3 over and they got that
vacuum tube.
That vacuum tube.
All sides being touched.
Just a packet of milk being sent
touching
to the
all
teller.
Sides of my throat. The back of your throat may have never touched milk. The back of my throat touches milk all the time. And I don't know if there's taste buds there or not.
There's no taste buds.
There's feeling there, though. I want the milk feeling on all sides. There's 360 degrees.
That hangy down punching bag thing. You're like,
my uvula has taken a bath in chocolate milk. Yours has never seen
Your uvula has taken a whooping. I'm surprised that it's still hanging on.
But your uvula has just sat there and watched milk go by underneath it. What would it be like? What would it be like? It doesn't even know.
A lot of my uvula was burned off when they removed my tonsils.
That is not true.
It is.
They burned it. I don't think you ever had one. You're saying your doctor was so bad at his job that he accidentally burned your uvula?
Talk about a weird part of the body. Think about that. It's
what is my life?
I need to use a. How did you even see mine? Oh, open your mouth.
Oh.
How do you? Stop.
You see it?
Stop saying the ah.
Could you take a picture?
Go, Yours is super short, dude. Put your tongue down. Oh gosh, you barely have a uvula.
Yeah, you never had one either.
How? I had a long one until my tonsils got removed, and they burned it off.
They didn't burn it off. That's a ridiculous thing to say.
I had the longest uvula. I was so proud of it.
You think they saw your uvula back there and they snipped it?
They were jealous.
It got swollen during that process, and I remember it was dragging on the back of my tongue.
Maybe you got some milk during those days.
It was traumatic. And then when it was all said and done, I was like, half my uvula's gone. What happened?
Your uvula had some milk days when it swelled up.
But that uvula is a wild little thing. I mean, it's like it really.
It's probably got taste buds on it.
No, it doesn't.
And if it does, you've deprived it.
It's a flap that points. It's like an arrow pointing down your throat that tells the food where to go. A skin arrow.
Does the uvula have taste buds?
No, uvula does not have taste buds. Taste buds are primarily located on the tongue, specifically on the papilla, small bumps on the surface of the tongue.
Well, what about the throat? Does it have taste buds?
She's not listening.
Why ain't she listening? All right, y'all. Thanks for listening. Now that Rhett has pulled out ChatGPT, we could be here forever.
Does the throat have any taste buds?
So I want you to enjoy the rest
maybe
of
just
your day.
one?
Yes, the throat does have some taste buds, though they are much fewer in number compared to those on the tongue.
Yes!
Buds can be found on the epiglottis,
The show is over. I already
said
said.
The esophagus.
Upper part of the esophagus!
Taste buds are more sparsely distributed.
They're still taste buds!
Play a role in the detection of bitter tastes.
But what about?
Which can help prevent the ingestion of potential.
So,
what about milk?
We'll talk at you next week.
What about milk? Does it taste milk?
So thank you for listening.
Milk can indeed be tasted, and this process involves the taste buds primarily located on the tongue, not the throat.
See? But what about the throat? The throat, there's some throat buds that get the milk, right?
It's over. We're done.
Yes, there are some taste buds in the throat that can detect tastes, including the taste of milk.
Yes!
The majority of taste sensation happens on the tongue.
Goodbye.
Hi, Rhett Link. This is Andrea, and I watched the new episode, The Father's Day Fail, and I just wanted to say, as an ex-Apple genius, Link, you are so very lucky that Lily's photos were backed up to her iCloud. I don't think she would have ever forgave you for that. Anyways, big fan of the show, and I hope to enjoy many, many more that you have coming. Thanks.